Guys, massive news. The first ONVO production cars just rolled off the line, and someone actually took delivery of the car today. Yeah, today. Also, the interiors were officially unveiled. Also, in this video, we're going to be covering is ONVO pre-orders being inflated? But first, a good look at the interior. The car looks very, very nice. This is, of course, the 12th vehicle that NIO Group has ever produced. And the car, even though it's produced, it still needs to undergo 5,000 vigorous testing. And just to make it clear, this car has already undergone 6,770,000 kilometers of driving with the pre-production cars. We'll go over the interior specs in a separate video, but also there was an internal ONVO delivery. So the first ever delivery was actually to a ONVO senior management, and this story is quite interesting because here you can see William Lee is actually the cameraman here, and you see ONVO CEO Tie Cheng, and then the guy on the right who's taking delivery of the car, he's Qinghua, which is the former head of NIO in Shanghai, so former general manager of NIO in Shanghai. And back in 2018, July 3rd, Tie Cheng, ONVO CEO, was actually just a normal NIO owner, and he took delivery of the car from this guy on the right. And then now, that's when he took delivery of the ES8, and he was NIO owner 107. And then he was, today, he's able to deliver the first ONVO L60 to him. So it's kind of like going full circle. Very, very heartwarming. Now we also have NIO Power Day coming up next week or next week, very soon, and ONVO will officially be launched in late September. So they're gonna do launch and delivery right away. Very important, NIO has never officially shared any ONVO pre-order numbers officially, of course, but we have heard rumors that after the first day of launch, on May 16th, they got like 100,000 ONVO pre-orders. Right? This is from people in the know, all right? And then there are also rumors that like 1 week after that, they got up to 300,000 pre-orders. Seems quite a lot, all right? And of course, there's, NIO is never gonna share any of these numbers because of what I'm gonna tell you, right? And it's the fact that some of these might be a little bit overinflated. And there's some information I've learned from some of the NIO sales reps, and also, of course, from one of these videos. There's a video of the 91st NIO owner, all right, ever. So he took delivery of the 91st NIO, and he was talking to William Lee's wife. And he made a video, he filmed himself, and he talked about how William Lee's wife was NIO owner number 2, right, 002 NIO owner. So she has to order 2 ONVOs. Likewise, he was NIO owner number 91. So he ordered 91 ONVO L60s. And then the CEO of ONVO, Tie Cheng, he's NIO owner number 107. So he pre-ordered 107 ONVOs, all right, ONVO L60s. So he pre-ordered, that's quite a lot. Does that mean me, as NIO owner number 34,000, I have to order 34,000 ONVO L60s? Am I going to start a taxi cab company or something? But why don't we roll the clip first and you watch it first.
So you're 002. Are you ordering 2 as well? Yes, that's right. My 002 was taken. Ladau's 002 was taken. I know, but you should still order 2. I haven't ordered yet. I'm just busy. The network's slow. Everyone's ordering. So, will you order 2? Yes. Good. The Founders Edition is set. Car 2 ordered 2. 91 ordered 91. 107 ordered 107. That's a lot of pressure. Charge up for Ladau.
So, is that guy going to take delivery of 91 ONVO L60s? I feel like it's very unlikely. All right. Is the ONVO CEO going to take delivery of 107 ONVO L60s? Not very likely. So what's the case with this? What's the case with this? And this is, of course, has to do with a lot of the KPI metrics that the sales reps have to endure. So, for example, the ONVO sales reps, if they don't get new pre-orders in and they don't maintain and keep their existing ones, and if there's a certain threshold, and if they get below that, they're fired. All right. So what you're seeing is that a lot of these ONVO sales reps, they might hit up their friends. All right. They might hit up their former colleagues. Some of them are used to be NIO sales reps. They might even hit up NIO owners, existing NIO owners that they sold the car to, and ask them for a token of support and tell them to pre-order the car to help them out. And of course, they do indeed help out. And what I learned was that, even the NIO sales reps, they had former colleagues that are now working at ONVO, and they're asking them, right, the NIO sales rep, to pre-order a car to show a token of support, to help them keep their job, basically. And of course, we're very supportive of everybody, and we don't want them to lose their job. And they, of course, yeah, it's refundable. So why not? We're going to pre-order the car. We're going to throw the pre-order in. So, yeah, people. So that does mean that there are a lot of pre-orders. Of course, NIO never shared these numbers, so there's nothing to say that, hey, this is more than what it should be, or less than what it should be. No, there's nothing to base this off of. We don't know what the actual pre-order numbers are, okay? We just know that there are a whole lot of pre-orders that have actually no intention of taking delivery of their cars or taking delivery of all their pre-orders. In that case of 91 orders or 107 orders of ONVO L60, very unlikely that they're going to take delivery of all those cars. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. And this kind of manipulation of stats, all right, in order for the sales reps to meet their target, the KPI target, it's quite stressful. I understand that. And it even happens sometimes for the NIO brand as well, because sales reps, they have very strict targets. You got to make 50 phone calls a day that are successful, and then you got to get a certain number of test drives in the week, and then you also, of course, have to get a certain number of orders, and you got to sell a certain number of cars, and make sure a certain number of people take delivery. So it's quite extensive progress, and then you also have to do like customer satisfaction phone calls. Like, people take delivery of the car after a few weeks, ask them, do they have any issues or anything like that. So they have a very laborious task, and they have lots of metrics that they got to satisfy, they got to fulfill in order for them to keep their job. So it's happened to me a few times where I walk into the NIO store, I'm just checking it out, and then they're like, hey, Mr. P, why don't you help me out, and then do a test drive and help me meet my target this week. And happened to me when the new ESA just came, and it was like, yeah, sure, why not, man? Like, brand new ESA, let me try it out. So yeah, it happens sometimes. It's not super often, but we've also seen some other kind of manipulation. Whenever there's these kind of test drive events, for example, incentives. For example, right now, they're giving away the incentive of a free paid all-inclusive vacation trip to Europe. I'm not kidding you. And they have that every month. They have some sort of crazy incentive for people to test drive the cars. It's to motivate them to take the first leap forward, right? But what sometimes some people do is they abuse this. And I've seen this happen before, where they basically, essentially, they do a test drive, but the sales rep and that customer, they do the test drive multiple times on the system in order to get that reward. So they do that. Of course, it's sort of like scamming NIO themselves, these sales reps. And of course, once they're discovered, these sales reps are let go of, definitely. But it has happened before, right? Things like this have happened. People trying to meet their sales target, they do that. Of course, these people that abuse the system, try to get away with these, they eventually get caught, if they do it in excess. But to some extent, if it's just a little bit, yeah, it happens, all right? You go into a store, your existing NIO owner, you just want to see things, and then they like, hey, why don't you come and do a test drive, just for fun. There's a reason for that. They got to meet their test drive target. So NIO is very strict on their employees. All right, they got very strict targets, which is very good. And of course, these systematic abuses, all right, it's being filtered out. All right, and they're closing all these gaps, loopholes. Remember that one person that did that test drive, like shotgun, which is like just doing it consistently on the system and not actually test driving the car, because it's impossible to test drive the car like 100 times in a day. That's absurd. But he got like a vacation trip to like southern part of China and all sorts of freebie gifts and all that kind of stuff, which was really crazy. And he was boasting about it, and that's how he got caught. Right? He was sharing to his WeChat friends group, like, oh my God, I got a vacation here, I got a vacation there. NIO does have to really balance out the incentive, make sure there's no like loopholes that can be abused. And then at the same time, you now know why pre-orders for ONVO has never been shared, all right, officially. So we'll just have to see when they launch the car. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people buying the car, for sure, okay? Because it's cheap, because it's very high tech, and it can battery swap. So I'm very confident in the sales performance of this car. But 100,000 pre-orders, according to people in the know, and then 300,000 rumored, it doesn't seem like that's all going to be, actual orders, all right, because of these possibly inflated numbers. So we'll have to see, all right, we'll have to see. Hopefully they do well. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.